Marketplace is supported by Putnam Investments, where performance is driven by original fundamental research on a global scale. This is Putnam Today. Produced in association with the University of Southern California.
I saw a headline today that said, "Markets in turmoil." Actually, the markets were just down. It's the economy that's in a bit of turmoil. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by Progressive Insurance, with more than 30,000 local independent agents. Information available at progressive.com. And by Deluxe Corp, a partner to more than 4 million small businesses with logo design, websites, email marketing, and online networking. Deluxe.com.
From the Frank Stanton Studios in Los Angeles, I'm Kai Ryssdal. Glad you could be with us on this Wednesday. It is the 11th of August today, and we begin with international trade. Our trade, specifically, and how much more stuff we're buying from overseas than we are sending abroad. The actual statistic, in case you're curious, is $49.9 billion more stuff, the biggest our trade gap has been in almost 2 years. But here's the thing. If the economy is weak, and the Fed basically said yesterday that it still is, why are we importing so much? We sent Marketplace's Scott Tong to check it out.
Maybe retailers are stocking up for a fall harvest. The $5 billion in additional stuff coming from overseas includes TVs, shoes, clothing, largely from China. Catherine Mann teaches economics at Brandeis University.
Businesses that are serving the consumer at the mall do think that the consumer is going to come back and that retail sales will be stronger in the fall. They'd be buying now for the fall sales.
What was that? Consumers could be back, despite the job market, despite the credit market, to help push this economy? That would help some of the chief pushers, manufacturers. They saw a tough June. Exports fell more than $2 billion. Economist Michael Hansen at Bank of America Merrill Lynch says overseas customers in places like Europe and China bought less of almost everything America sells.
Semiconductors, computers, telecoms, industrial supplies. It's kind of broad-based, and so that does suggest that it's in part some weakness abroad.
Do the math, and weak exports and strong imports equals hefty trade deficit. That'll drag on America's key economic yardstick, GDP. Still, it's just 1 month's number, and many expect the crucial export sector to bounce back. Why? The dollar could weaken, making U.S. exports cheaper overseas. It's tricky, but Michael Gapin at Barclays Capital says the Fed has signaled it may pump more dollars into the system, which would send the value of the currency lower.
If you believe yesterday's action has started the Fed in motion, you can make a case for a weaker dollar going forward that would be supportive of the export sector.
That is, if our friends overseas feel confident enough to buy. In Washington, I'm Scott Tong for Marketplace.
I guess it took Wall Street a day or so to fully absorb the mean things the Fed said yesterday about the economy, because sell was the word of the day in stocks today. The gory details in due time, of course. But back for a second to what the Fed did say yesterday. It's not going to add more money to the economy. It is, though, going to reinvest the cash it put in during the financial crisis toward buying government debt and helping push interest rates lower. That money is supposed to help banks shore up their balance sheets and, at the same time, somehow encourage them to lend more. Marketplace's Elisa Roth reports.
Bankers say they're in a tough spot. They're being told to hold lots of money in the reserves in case things go south. They're also being told to lend more money to encourage the economy. But they're also supposed to be very careful about whom they lend to.
We, as your regulators, really encourage you to go out and make loans as long as they're prudent.
Karen Petru is a banking analyst at Farrell Financial Analytics. She says the problem is with that word prudent. For years, the banks took on more risk. Then the financial crisis came, and now banks don't know what prudent's supposed to mean. Petru says the regulator's guidance isn't helping.
And here are some things that make them prudent